Hello again out there in YouTube land. I think I'm officially going to retire the phrase, just a quick update, because I think I've pretty well proven I'm not really capable of that, am I? Alright, let's see, what did I want to cover? Today is Friday. That means it's my day off. And contrary to the pattern set the last few weeks, today is actually feeling, like a day off. I woke up at 6 this morning with a blinding headache, and I suffer from tension headache as well as migraine headache, but I'm starting to think I might just have chronic headache, because this, it's one of those things where it's continually there is that dull sort of in the very back of my head. And most mornings I wake up with some degree of headache, but this morning, oh my god, I thought half of my head was going to simultaneously implode and explode at the same time. I had barely the capacity to function. Unfortunately, I have the kind of medication tolerance that doctors, when they hear about, usually cringe. I'm not kidding. I've made general practitioners and once a pain specialist actually shudder when they heard what my tolerance to medication is, because I've had physical issues so long, both by dint of effects of the environment I grew up in and certain predispositions based on heredity, that I've been taking things like anti-inflammatories, muscle relaxers, painkillers, for a pretty substantial part of my life, probably about as early as they're allowed to prescribe them to children. So like 14, 15, that's how bad my migraines have always been. So I woke up with this headache and immediately took 7 ibuprofen. Alright, I know you're probably cringing, but believe it or not, for me, a starting dose of ibuprofen, the 200 milligram over-the-counter tablets, my starting dose is 5 of them. Yeah, my tolerance is insane. It would take, I don't even know how much to really honestly put me down. I'm the kind of person, I take a 10 milligram of something seriously strong, like the last time I really hurt my back, I took a 10 milligram OxyContin, and I felt comfortable for a few hours. I didn't get tired, I didn't get woozy, I didn't get knocked out. I finally got comfortable, like every day get up and function comfortable. So that's how my day started, but it became more and more like a day off. I got Sam his coffee, he fed himself, got him out the door to work and walked with him, went and mailed something for him, and after that, just went out doing my own things, basically. Got what I needed to make my sister's birthday cake for tomorrow. Well, what was missing, I had most of the ingredients. What else? Packed away some of her stuff in a bag to make sure we have it all when we go tomorrow. Wrote a couple of messages, did the email, did the Facebook, did the Twitter. Got the portion of the drinks for the party that she's asked us to bring. What else? Got something to eat. Got some more coffee, because I made myself some, and then while I was getting food, I was like, I need more caffeine. So I got another cup of coffee. Usually I'm good about sticking to 1 cup of coffee a day because it's a double-edged sword. Caffeine is in most headache medications, but too much caffeine will actually induce a headache issue, especially in people predisposed to getting headaches like myself. So that was no fun. I was checking a few things this morning on news outlets and things like that while I was up so freaking early, and I forget what it was, but someone had posted I really gotta write shit down. Someone had posted something about troop withdrawal or why the troops something or other, and it made me think, I should probably, it's one of those points where, like, you think people know what you're talking about when you state your opinion, but they don't know where you're coming from and start assuming you have your head up your ass or something. So let me clarify something. If you ever talk to me about the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, the fighting participants in the Middle East, the troops from America in that region of the world, I'm not going to get into it about whether or not it is a war or a police action, whether or not it is justified or unjustified, whether or not it, you know, is something that we should have gotten into or should not have gotten into. Because the fact of the matter is this might be part of my liberalism showing itself again, but this is my opinion. My opinion. I don't care what conflict troops have to go into. To start, okay, point one, I should say. Anytime you have that kind of conflict where people put their lives and safety on the line, it's a bad situation. It may or may not be a justified, righteous cause, but the fact that humanity cannot go beyond the point where we feel the need to eviscerate and destroy other living creatures, I'm including animals and humans in the same group as living creatures, the fact that humans can't get past that saddens me no end. So that any type of conflict like that happens, I'm against it. I'm against infliction of harm on other living beings. I'm just that kind of pacifist, okay? That said, put in that kind of situation where my life is threatened and I have the weapons necessary to defend myself or my family, yes, I'm going to do it. I'll put your ass down. Just because I don't like fighting doesn't mean I can't, and it doesn't mean I won't. Point two. I don't think any of the aforementioned items are justification for anger or abuse towards the people who serve. And I'm not just talking about American troops here, okay? Again, if you're forced to go into a conflict situation like that and put yourself on the line, you deserve respect. Whether or not someone else agrees with your reasons for fighting, your desire to fight, your need to fight, your motivation to fight, that's freaking irrelevant, okay? If you can have respect for firefighters, if you can have respect for law enforcement, you can have respect for people who serve in the armed forces. Doesn't matter the branch, doesn't matter the reason. Anyone who is willing to take their own life and the lives of others into their hands and trust each other's hands to go into that kind of a situation, you take care of them. That's just the end of it. I have 2 older brothers who served and a grandfather who served. When and where is irrelevant, okay? Not liking conflict doesn't mean you shouldn't like the people who participate in the conflict. Hate the reason for the conflict. Hate the motivation and the justification and the rationale behind the conflict. But there's no excuse for taking it out on the people who have to serve or choose to serve. What else? Oh, earlier this week, also on a similarly politically related note, news-related note, not political, news-related, Sam and I were watching the news, which we try to do every night, and there was the initial reports about the Jerry Sandusky interview with the New York Times on film. Now, let's acknowledge the idiocy of the first interview that he gave to NBC over the phone. Let's just accept the stupidity there for what it is, that his lawyer was in the studio and let his mouth run. Let his client's mouth run, okay? We were watching it, and before a peep could come out of my mouth, my husband Sam, who has obviously spent far too much time with me, opened his mouth and basically started ranting. What? What? What the hell kind of answer is that? Dude, you should go to jail just for letting that kind of stupid out of your mouth. You should go to jail for being that dumb. And I lost it. Lost it. I spent 10 minutes hysterically laughing on the couch. He was so confused. He was like, oh my God, I think I broke her. Because it was the tone of what I was thinking. It was the delivery I probably would have used myself, and the thought was identical. I could, because did you see that report? Did you hear what came out of his mouth? Eek! That's just stupid, but you know, you can't send people to jail for stupid. But stupid certainly helps provide the rope to hang them. Oh, so today is supposed to be my day off. It is my day off. I shouldn't say supposed to be. Today's actually gone by really fast compared to usual. I mean, ordinarily, I get up and I start my day, and at 11 o'clock, I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's see what time it is. You know, I've gotten a lot done. It's probably like 2 o'clock. I should have lunch. I look at the clock, and it says 11 a.m., and I'm like, what? It should be later than that. I've done too much for it to only be 2 hours later. Today, I got up to do this particular vlog, and I was like, huh. It's probably like lunchtime or something, and I look at the clock, and it's already 1 p.m. I was like, oh, today's actually moving like a day off. That's cool. I'm certainly glad I'm feeling better today, though. I felt like yesterday. There's probably an actual word in the English language that describes it, but it's a lot more universal for me to just say I felt like I finally heard back about the call center position that I'd been waiting to hear about, and it wasn't actually a phone call. She was responding to an email I'd sent her saying thank you for your time, which is just, you know, a polite thing to do, because if they're not considering you, that might be the thing that makes them consider you. It's happened to me before. So I wrote that email, and she wrote me back at the end of the day, like, you know, thank you so much for your time, unfortunately, and I went, oh, fuck my life, all right. But she did say there might be a different position in a similar vein of work that they think I actually would be perfect for. The only problem is, of course, there's no openings in that particular division. Yay! So I'm perfect for something, I just can't be hired because there's no room. Which is not something you're used to hearing in this economy, I don't think. So back to the job hunt for me. Unless I hear from her soon, or I decide, you know what, screw it. I'm waiting till after the holiday. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not, because it's holiday hiring and firing. Everyone is trimming everywhere and everything, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I got too invested in wanting this particular job, and the letdown was horrible. That's why I try not to get too involved until someone actually says you're hired, here's your paperwork for human resources. It's crippling. So I'm glad I'm feeling a lot better today. But, because today is my day off, I've decided, you know what? I'm just going to nerd out. I am. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to watch some things that I haven't seen in a long time, or what a nerd considers a long time, which is, you know, a couple of months. Have my food, have my coffee, and watch a Star Trek movie marathon. I'm that kind of nerd. I am a Trekkie. I have seen all 6 of the Star Wars movies, and I am in that very, very small margin who's not going to outright bash Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar reminded me of some of my family members, so definitely worth laughing at, not necessarily worth making fun of. But yeah, okay. My YouTube limit is almost up. So that's it for now. But, oh yeah, quick thing. Okay, obviously, white, I'm white. But I want to make something really clear. As a Trekkie, I have to tell you, Nichelle Nichols, the original Uhura, one of the top 5 female role models that could have ever been created on television. I just need to get that out there. I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.